approximately this point in the harbor?
Yes, sir.
Opposite and approximately 50 feet from the revolving light on the jetty.
Yes, sir.
Very well, Mr. Summers. Would you resume the stand, please? And will you please tell the court what you saw on the night of the murder?
Well, like always around low tide, I went out to check my lobster traps.
And you went out by way of the jetty?
Right. Otherwise, I would have had to cross private property.
Now, what time was it when you reached the jetty?
Well, let's see, low tide's around 10 o'clock. It was flooding in pretty strong when I got there to the traps. So it must have been 10:30 or quarter to 11.
And what did you see from that jetty?
And when I got to the light, I thought I heard this noise on the Blue Nymph, a firecracker like, and I looked out there and I saw these two guys in a cabin wrestling.
Now, how could you see inside the cabin?
Well, the jetty light lit it up every time it came around. And the next time it came around, there was just one guy standing there, holding a pistol and looking down. About the fifth time around, came out, he got into a boat, and he rowed away.
And, of course, you reported this to the police?
Well, not until I heard about Mr. Roan the next day. See, I wasn't really sure what had happened then or later on. And I knew it meant trouble for me because, well, it's out of season for trapping lobsters.
All right, Mr. Summers, I understand. Now, sir, I want you to look around this courtroom and identify for us, if you can, the man armed with a pistol you saw rowing away from the Blue Nymph.
Oh, yeah, that's easy, because I know him from around the bay. It's Mr. Blake there.
Thank you, sir. That'll be all.
Mr. Summers, you said that you didn't make an immediate report to the police because you weren't sure what happened then or later on. What did happen later on?
Well, when I came back in about an hour, I guess it was about an hour, and I thought I heard this sound on the Blue Nymph, a splash.
Did you see what caused this splash?
Well, fish, I guess, but I looked out there and I saw these two guys standing on the deck, and neither one of them looked like they heard anything, so I just went on home.
Then, Mr. Summers, the Blue Nymph was in this position when you came back along the jetty and heard the splash.
Well, it had to be, because the water was flooding in strong for about an hour. That is, if low tide's at 9:47, like the book says.
What was its position when you heard the men struggling inside the cabin?
Well, it's kind of like this. Otherwise, the jetty light wouldn't have shone through the hatch into the cabin.
Mr. Barstow, what would have been the Blue Nymph's position when the tide ceased ebbing at 9:47 that night? To see the defendant struggle with Vince Rome and then leave? Thank you, Mr. Summers. Now, Mr. Barstow, you told the police, I believe, that Pancho Morado rowed you back to the Blue Nymph that night and you talked together on deck for a time.